After all that, what's left for the likes of you and me? How are we expected to complete our work quarter? Goldberg complained. We're always hungry. What master expects his horse to work without food? No master expects that, replied Bondarenko. What's the horse belongs to him. If the goddamned creature dies, where the hell will he get the money to buy another? But we Khans are different. The camp commandant doesn't pay a fucking penny for us. If you kick the bucket, he'll just get a replacement from the MGB, free of charge. And he won't be held accountable, Trofimov said. You got it, Bondarenko nodded. Well, a long time ago, Marx proclaimed that being determines consciousness, Goldberg stated. And conscience, as one can see. Finish your breakfast, line up. The convicts sighed and got up from the benches. Some tried to bolt down the last few precious drops of skillet, while others saved hunks of bread and hid them under their pea jackets. The entire camp population gathered in front of the main office building and drew up in columns for the morning roll call. The camp authorities emerged. The commandant, Major Avdeyev, MGB security officer Klimenko, nicknamed the Godfather, and various other lieutenants. They were followed by the leading camp trustees, those who assigned the work and the quarters, and the various foremen. Guards with submachine guns took up position alongside the prisoners, and the foremen checked off the members of their work teams. We got to have Ananyev here, Bondarenko, Goldberg, Trofimov, Zabelin. Gusev, the foreman, counted one man after another. And Zybkov. Where the fuck's Zybkov? He died last night. Vaskov, the orderly from barracks number 4, announced. Did he? Now? So soon? Why soon, Gusev? He was a goner. He'd been on his way out for a long time. Hey, you scum! A screw emerged, dragging a man who was scarcely able to stand. But I have a note from the doctor, the man protested. You and your doctor's note. You're just a lazy schemer. That's what you are. Trofimov hoped there would be no body search, not in this wind. You here? What's your name? A screw barked right into his ear. Convict Trofimov, Alexander Ivanovich. Unbutton your overcoat. Quick about it. Trofimov cursed under his breath. Any loud protest could cost a heavy beating or a couple of weeks in the black hole, or both. He unbuttoned his coat. An icy blast stabbed at his body, and his scars ached. The guard ran his hands over him, checking the pockets, then moved on to his pea jacket. Unbutton your jacket. Shivering with cold, and with his body open to the biting frost, Trofimov hardly felt the screw's hands as they fumbled him. All right, button up. Trofimov hastily buttoned, trying to shut out the cold. Hell, that was nasty, he thought. What sadism. forcing men to strip to their underwear in this cold. How those gods must despise us. To them, we're not even humans, just like the Nazis treated the Russians. Citizen God, please listen. I'm a good worker, but I need to build up my strength. I won't manage otherwise. Hold your tongue, scum. You should eat your bread at breakfast. The screw grabbed the man's bread ration, threw it on the ground, and squashed it with his foot. God, an entire bread ration. The sort of thing men fought and killed for. Comrade Lieutenant, I found one with a knife. A knife? Put him in solitary. Tough luck, Trofimov thought. Poor chap to get caught that way. Probably it wasn't even a knife. Just part of an old saw blade, a sort of thing used in the camps in place of a knife. That was enough to pin a charge of terrorism and send a man to the isolator. The punishment was solitary confinement cells. The man would likely catch pneumonia and then... Attention! All work teams proceed to their workplaces. Come on, let's go. Foreman Gusev stepped up in front of his men and led them off to work. Trofimov, Goldberg, Bondarenko, and 27 others made up the team that joined the other mining brigades. Off they marched, escorted by a dozen screws with submachine guns and dogs. Attention, all prisoners. Follow your guide. One step to the left or right counts as an escape attempt. The guards will shoot without warning. It was a routine formula, repeated everywhere in the camps, several times a day. But the words chilled the soul of any newcomer. Anyone of those well-fed young thugs could raise his submachine gun and wipe you out. The camp veterans knew it was no empty threat. They had seen it happen. Trofimov was not yet an old-timer. 1 month was not enough to qualify, but after Arjivin's ramrods and several months in transit, nothing surprised him. He could well imagine the young thugs shooting the whole column dead, if the camp authorities saw fit to require it. Meanwhile, the column marched out of the inner compound and moved toward the outer gates of the camp. The mine was about 3 kilometers away, half an hour's walk, close enough to avoid complete exhaustion.